Hello everyone, how's it going? So this is part 1 of YOLO Custom Object Detector. So the first step when you're trying to do YOLO object detection on your own data set, the first thing is that data set which you need. So all those images that you want to be trained upon. So that's the main task of a YOLO object detection when you're trying to do it on a custom object. So it's very complicated, not just complicated, but more, I would say, cumbersome and tedious process where you have to download and collect all these images and also informed where the bounding box is. For example, in this particular image over here, you need to provide information about where the object is in the image. So when the YOLO object trainer tries to train and understand these images, it utilizes this information given by the humans, of course, so that the machine learning can understand where initially the object is, and then it can understand how the image properties vary so that it can make its own model. So the first step is to collect as many images of your objects as you can. And once you have all those images, you also need to provide information about where the object is located. And this is not possible if you're not trying to download a very random vague data set, and you have to initialize and specify each and every point of this image to show where for example, in this particular image, the airplane. So you need to specify where are the bounding box of this airplane, like this yellow box over here. So in our case, we're going to be using Google's Open Image Dataset, which already provides us with these image bounding boxes. So the hard work of identifying where the object is already done for us. So we're just utilizing that particular attribute of this Google and then utilizing it for our YOLO object detection. So there are a few changes that we will have to do and we'll be good to go. So the first step is to identify which object you want to do. Now this Open Image Dataset, it's hosted by Google and it's free to use. They have millions of images in here and you can do for anyone in there. So they have a list of classes here. I believe it's about 600 classes if I'm not mistaken. So you can choose whichever class you want. For example, for today, I'm going to go ahead and do it for cars. We have this car dataset here. And if you load it, it will come up with all the car images. And it shows all the bounding boxes for all the cars available in the images. So that is what we are interested in. And we'll use all these images to make our own data set. So once we have all these images identified, we know, okay, this is what we are going to be working with. So there is a link in the description, and that link will open up a Google Colab file, which will be this one over here. And it'll call it as Create Custom Dataset from Open Images. So open up that Google Colab link from the description and make sure you're logging in with your own account over here so that it can run. And then once you have everything, so I'll go ahead and tell you what each step is doing for us. So before I go in there, let me explain you where I'm getting it from. So this is an Open Image Dataset V4 toolkit. This was designed for version 4, and what we are using right now from the Open Images is V6. But so far it's working out fine. So it's almost the same code is working out. So this is the toolkit that allows us to download all those images. And this particular gentleman, the AI guy's code, he has his YouTube channel also, a very nice channel. You must go and check it out. I can put the link in the description for you. So he forked that particular repository and made a small change and added this particular Python file, and it is very helpful. So we're going to be utilizing and leveraging this information in our code over here. So the first step is once everything is loaded, you can see I'm starting this from scratch, so you'll get to see how it works. So the first step is to clone the repository, and you can press the plus sign over here. It'll take a few seconds and it'll download everything for us from the cloned repository, and we are cloning this particular repository over here, so it can download all these files for us. And as you can see that it's cloning and it's also downloading all these objects for us. and in a few seconds this particular place over here will be populated with the information. So if I refresh, maybe by going into files and coming back here, we can see that now it's populated and it can show us the OID v4 toolkit. Now the next step is we need to tell Google to go into this particular folder, and we do that by this command by using change directory OID v4 toolkit, and we just press the play button and it will change the command directory to OID toolkit. So what is happening is it's just opening up this folder and it's changing the current directory to this particular section over here. And now we are interested in this requirements.txt file over here. And if I open up here, it shows all these dependencies that it needs, and pandas, numpy, the AWS, URL lib. So these are all things that are needed, and we can just go ahead and press the play button over here and it will go ahead and download all these dependencies for us. So let's give it a few seconds and it'll go ahead and download everything for us, and that's done. So since we are using Google Colab, that's the reason it's doing it very fast for us, and that was one of the reasons that I utilized the Google Colab to do this tutorial as well. So it does say that it needs to it needs to reinstall the runtime or restart the runtime, and that's safe to do. It'll give you this warning. That's okay. It's not going to delete any of these files, so it's cool. Now come down here. So this is where you need to specify what you need to download. And now in my case, I'm trying to download the car images, so I specified car. In your case, whatever you need to download, just specify and write down the name of the class. And here, this limit over here, this limit specifies how many images you want to download from each class. So 400 I had put down for my test purposes, but I think it's too big for this video. I'll limit it to maybe 100 only, so that it doesn't spend too much of your time on it. So we have this Python where we are running this main.py, and it's going to download all these images of car and then come down and download 100 images for us only. Now if I go back to the image data set, we see that they have different types of classes over here, different types of objects that we are interested in, and most of these classes have single words like the apple, the ant, the animal, ambulance, but there are some names which has two words in it, like the adhesive tape over here, the baked goods, the balance beam. So when you have the space over here, so just be careful when you're trying to type that. So instead, like for example, we saw the adhesive tape, so don't write adhesive tape like this. Instead of that, adhesive underscore tape. So then it knows that it's a space, not two different classes, because this particular code does allow you to download multiple classes as well. And if you're interested in downloading multiple classes, do leave a comment in the description letting me know that you are interested in multiple classes, and I can make a code for you. So you have this thing ready, and we're just going to go ahead and press the play button, and it will download all the images of the car. And you know what, I did a mistake over here. I forgot to replace the word with the car, so I'm going to put that back again now, and I'm specifying car, and it's going to run the play button, and it says that it's not able to find the main.py file, and the reason for that was because we made change in the runtime, and because of that it came out of this particular folder. So go back to this main step over here and this change directory and run this back again. Once we are done with this, then come back and you can do the Python application, press the play button, and it will download. It will be back in the OID toolkit, and it will run the application. So if you see this green color OID v4 downloader sign over here, then it means that it's working properly, and it will give you this yes or no question. So write down yes over here, press enter, and it will ask you another question, and it will again ask whether it's yes or no. Yes, put Y and then press enter, and it will take a few seconds and download all the existing databases for us, and it will be loaded in this particular folder called OID over here. Now in the meantime, let me also show you what we have to do over here. So open up your Google Drive, and now this is my drive, which is connected with the same account that I'm using over here My Google Colab is also running on the same account, and this is also running on the same account. In this particular account, open up your main drive and open a projects folder. So like for example, if I go into the main folder of my drive, and you see the projects folder over here, create this projects folder, and under the projects folder you have to create another folder, which I'll show you in the next step, that we'll be using in order to copy this thing. So this is just a heads up that I'm giving you in the meantime while we are waiting for this thing to load for us. So it's downloading these images. It has downloaded all the trained annotation boxes, and now it's downloading the car images for us. So you can see that it's downloading now 0 of 100, and then slowly and slowly it will download all these images for us. So it has started the download. It's about 14% with 14 images for now, and in a few seconds it will download everything for us. In the meantime, I would like you to request to, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and if this is something that is helping you, and of course if you want to stay connected with our growth and our progress on this channel, where we are going to come up with different types of challenges, different types of projects, and different applications, especially in the field of machine learning, OpenCV, computer vision, IoT. So if that's something which is of your interest, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and it will help us grow. So just go ahead, and I think we are down to 73-74%, a few more seconds, and if you want to skip it for a few more seconds, it should be done by that time. It's now 90%, 93, 94, 95. It's almost done. It's creating the labels for us. So done. Okay, now it's ready. So where do we see this download? So go into the OID over here. So OID v4 toolkit, and under that you have this OID images, which is open, which stands for Open Images Dataset. Click on that and it'll open up. So it has the dataset in the CSV folder. Open the dataset folder, and under the dataset there's a training folder. Open the training folder, and under that you can see now there's this folder called car. So click on car, and it'll open up all the 100 images for us, and it'll list out all the images for us. So you can see, if I extend this a little bit so that we can see these images, and I don't know why. Okay, now I got it. So you can see all these images over here. So it has about 100 images listed down here, and these are all downloaded from the Open Images dataset, and we will be using this. Now this label folder over here, this specifies all the notations, all the bounding box information that we saw originally. So if I go back to this image dataset, this bounding box information about where the box is in the image, and the X and Y coordinate, everything is provided. So what it does is it provides the X and Y coordinate of this point, and the X and Y coordinate of this particular point. So it takes the information of these 2 points and puts it for us into the labels folder. So if I click on the labels folder, and if I open one of the txt files right here, so you can see that these are also text files, and if we open up one of the text files, it'll show that it is in the format of car, and it is giving you some coordinates over here, and these coordinates are nothing but those bounding box coordinates that we saw earlier in the other website. So this is what it shows. This is the format that it gives us, but YOLO has its own format. YOLO requires its own format. Like for example, if I go back to the label, YOLO does not read car. It does not understand what the car is, and instead of that it specifies it under the digits like 0, 1, 2, 3. So if you have one class that you're doing, so it will be 0. Car would be nothing but 0. So you want to change that into a YOLO format. So this is good. It is helpful from Google, very good, helpful. But in terms of what we are trying to do with, especially with YOLO, this will not work. So for that purpose, we need to make a small change. The first change is to come down to classes.txt over here and open the classes.txt file, and it'll give you a bunch of classes which are already present in there. Go ahead and delete all of them and write down the class which you are working on. In our case, we are working on the car dataset, so put down CAR and then just Control S for saving it. So it is now saved. If I close it and if I open it back again, it should show the car dataset over here. So now we know that the car dataset is ready, and it's available in the classes.txt. So this is an important step. Don't miss that. and come down here, come down to this step over here. After I mentioned the subscribe channel, open this particular section where it says Python convert annotations. So this Python application is actually coming from this this particular channel, the AI guys code, and what it's doing is coming back here, it's going to read this classes.txt, and it's also going to go over all these dataset images, and it's going to make that label files that we are interested in. So go ahead and press the play button here, and it will take a few seconds. It's not a very heavy program. So it's going to quickly go over all these image and labels dataset that we have originally, and it will change it into a YOLO format that we are interested in. So let's give it a few seconds, and it should be ready anytime now. Perfect. So it's done, and it made changes for the car dataset. So you can see that it was able to read the classes, which was in our case the car. So to see a small change over here, let's go back and let's open the data set over here. Going back to data set and going back to our train, and also opening up the car. So there is, okay, we have this car data set. Now here is what the change has happened. Now let it load. I'm waiting for it to load for us. Let's give it a few seconds. Google Colab is messed up today, I guess. Too many people using it. Not sure why. Okay, let's save this back again. Basically what's going to happen is all those label annotations that we saw, it's going to be available in our training, in our car data set. So car, and let's open the car back again. Okay, now safely it has opened up for us. So now you can see that this is the JPEG file, which is nothing but the image of the car, and this txt, it should be of the same name, because that's what YOLO needs, and that this is the file that was created by the Python application that we just ran, and it has created this txt file over here with the same name as the original JPEG file. And if you open this, it has a different format. Now you can see the car which was originally available in the main label section is now changed to a 0, because we are working with only one data set, which is 0, and this is now changed to the format that YOLO needs for its bounding boxes. YOLO has a different way of detecting identifying the boxes, and this is basically in that particular format. And this labels folder over here, now we don't need it. We utilized it to change it into this format. So you can see every image is linked with its own txt file. Every image has its own same name, same file name, just with an extension of txt specifying where the annotation or where the boxes are. So let me close this. Now the next step is to copy all these images into your Google Drive, because since you're running on the Colab, these images, this particular folder is not saved anywhere. Once you close it, it'll go ahead and delete everything for us. So we don't want that, but we are interested in this so that we can then utilize it in the next tutorial for our YOLO object detection. So for that purpose, you want to download all those images into your drive, and that is where I want to connect my Google Drive to the account. So if I press the play button, it'll ask me to link to the browser. It will ask me to connect the browser, and it'll give us this link. If I click on this particular link here, and it'll give you the option of which account you have to choose. Choose the account that you're interested in, press allow, and it'll come up with this security link. Just copy this link, and it'll give you access to your Google Drive. So copy this link, come down here, press save, press enter, and it will link your Google Drive with your Colab file. Okay, so now the moment it says mounted, that means that it's connected. Now you are trying to copy all your all your images which are available in the OID into your drive. So for that purpose, go into your projects folder, into your drive, and here under the, as I said, create this projects folder, and also create this new folder by the word YOLO. And you have this YOLO working here. So you can see now if I open the YOLO folder It's for now it's empty, and we'll be now copying all those images from our Colab file to this particular file over here. So coming back to this, just you press this button. This is nothing but this particular code is going to copy all these files for us under the YOLO directory over here. So if I press the play button, it will go ahead and take a few seconds and download all the images into our Colab file, into our drive. I'm sorry. So you can see now it's slowly and gradually coming up and populating with different types of folders. So we have the CSV folder, now we have the data set, and if you open up the data set, it will now come up with the trained folder and also the car data set. So now all these images are popping up, all these files will be populated slowly and gradually. So it's specifying all these images for us. So with that, this is nothing but copying and annotating all the images that we need for our custom trained data set. So with that, I'll come to the conclusion of this video. In the next part of this channel, in the next part of this video, I'll work on how to make our own and how to train on these images with our custom data set. So that'll be the next part of this video. If it's something that you're interested in, leave a like, leave a comment, and let me know what else you want to work on, what are the projects that you're interested in. So leave a comment and I'll be happy to work on that for you. And subscribe to the channel if it's something that you're interested in following around. With that, I'll come to the conclusion. You take care, stay safe, bye-bye.